Adam's lightning arcs through muscle that has never once had to deal with current, and for the first time, it genuinely looks like Hulk could die here. Then the pain does what it always does. Rage scaling kicks into a gear nobody's seen.
I love when Nerd Science does this. Could Hulk solo the entire DC universe? That's an easy maybe, because I only say maybe because what happens when he gets to Mandrake and the Thoughtbot, the ultimate Superman form, right? Even Milkman, like Milkman might be cooking Hulk. I don't know. Like those guys are broken for no reason. Mandrake and Cosmic Armor Superman are the strongest characters in the DC universe, right? Mandrake because he's a monitor, Cosmic Armor Superman because he's a fusion of Ultraman and Superman. He actually, now that I think about it, Hulk would not win, because if he's in the DC universe, Cosmic Armor Superman was ever to appear and fight against Hulk, I mean, I understand Hulk can survive a lot, right? He can survive a lot, but Cosmic Armor Superman goes against the winner. He goes against who's supposed to win. So we think Hulk is definitely supposed to win that fight. I don't think Hulk is beating Cosmic Armor Superman in the DC universe. In the Marvel universe, Cosmic Armor Superman wouldn't be relevant at all. I think he has to be in the DC universe for him to be actually powerful, which I don't know how that works or why that is, but at least that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Could Hulk solo the entire DC universe? That's an easy yes for a lot of the characters. I mean, he has a lot of tough fights. We're talking about the entire DC universe here. The entire DC universe. We're only going to get a few characters here, obviously, because he can't do the entire DC universe, and it's peak comic Hulk. So this is the strongest Hulk. Let's see. Let's check her out, boys.
Gotham isn't a skyline anymore. It's a field of broken concrete with one green giant standing in the middle of it, chest heaving, knuckles literally bleeding smoke. Hold on to that image. The smoke coming off his hands, because we're coming back to it. Everyone knows the pitch on this guy. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets.
Which, again, for the billionth time, is so overly broken. Imagine fighting somebody you hit, they get angrier and they get stronger and bigger the more you hit. And that actually like low-key makes me think about Doomsday too. Like, I wonder how a Doomsday and Hulk fight would go, because Doomsday dies and then comes back stronger and adapted to how he just died. So like, that's stupid too. You know what I mean? Like, these characters are dumb.
Supposedly no cap on it at all, but there's a ceiling. There's always been a ceiling, and the DC universe was practically built to find it. So here's the question: can Peak Comics Hulk actually solo the entire DC roster? Or is there a name on that list that finally puts him down? And more importantly, is it the name you'd expect? Tier by tier gauntlet, F to S. Science as we go. Let's find out how far the rage actually takes him. Chapter 1. Street level gets erased. Hulk lands in Gotham first, because of course he does. And the city sends its best. A man in body armor with a utility belt full of contingencies shows up before anyone else. And I want to be fair to him here, because the prep time Batman the internet worships is mostly a message board invention. On the actual page, he's a genius with gadgets, not a wizard. He brings gas that drops most things in seconds, an EMP built to kill anything with a circuit, and a gamma tune contingency he's kept locked away for exactly this nightmare. Exactly none of it lands. The gas barely makes Hulk blink. The EMP has nothing to disable because Hulk isn't circuitry. He's rage wrapped in mutated cells. Batman gets one clean read, one shot with a disruptor, and then the hand the size of a trash can lid closes around his cape and ends the conversation. Deathstroke lasts longer. And
oh my God, toss that man. He done.
Then the hand the size of a trash can lid closes around his cape and ends the conversation.
Damn.
Deathstroke lasts longer, and he earns it. His regeneration and his reflexes by real time. Ducking, countering, landing precision hits on nerve clusters that would drop a normal target. But longer means maybe 4 seconds, because Hulk doesn't need to outthink him. He needs to connect once. He does. Deadshot doesn't even get that far. His whole gimmick is ending fights at range, and the range disappears before he squeezes off a shot. Here's the physics, and it's ugly. A Hulk punch in his upper register puts multiple tons of force through a target, and blunt trauma does not care how many years you spent training your body to eat a hit. Tissue and bone absorb only so much transferred energy before tendons snap, bone shatters, organs rupture. That ceiling exists for every one of these people, no matter how disciplined they are. Peak human is still human. Reflexes don't change the math once that much force is moving through soft tissue. So if that's what happens to Earth's best trained fighters, what happens when the other side actually has powers? For this chapter, Hulk rates an S. Total domination. Nobody laid a real finger on him. Chapter 2, Metahumans start drawing blood.
Okay.
3 figures drop into the wreckage, and this time Hulk isn't looking at people, he's looking at power. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg. Deanna gets there first. And here's the thing people forget about her. She is not the support slot on this trio. In the books, she trades blows with Superman and stalemates Aquaman. So...
Which, like, I always knew Wonder Woman was basically just the female Superman, kind of, but I never knew she was as strong as he's about to explain. I don't know, you just don't really think about Wonder Woman that much unless you're a fan of Wonder Woman, I guess, but I don't know.
Treat her as a genuine physical threat, not a lasso on legs. The lasso still matters, though. She throws it, it wraps around his forearm, and something happens that hasn't happened all fight. Hulk stops. Just for a second, the rope doesn't only restrain, it compels, dragging truth and intention out of whatever it touches.
And the truth is, he's always angry, right?
And for one beat, he's fighting something inside his own skull instead of in front of him. But a beat is all it is. His strength keeps climbing the longer this runs, and Amazonian strength, monstrous as it is, isn't built to out-total something whose ceiling keeps moving. He rips free. The lasso didn't fail, it ran out of time. Now Aquaman, and I need you to slow down with me here because this is the beat the whole video actually turns on. And almost everybody gets it wrong, including the first draft of this fight. The jokes about lame Aquaman talks to fish are a Silver Age cartoon hangover the comics spent 30 years burying. Here's the real resume. This man has lifted a 160,000-ton liner, traded punches with Wonder Woman, and stabbed Darkseid, an actual god, in the eye and in the chest. But watch.
Look at that. Ooh. Damn.
How he pulls off that last one, because it's everything. He doesn't out-muscle Darkseid. He does it with the Trident of Neptune, a length of enchanted nth metal that pierces mystical defenses and draws blood from things whose durability should be untouchable. So when Aquaman connects with a bare fist, Hulk barely registers it. Rage scaling already outran Atlantean muscle a chapter ago, but when the Trident goes in, ribs go. Actual ribs, actual cracking, and Hulk staggers for the first time all night because the Trident doesn't ask his durability for permission, it ignores it. His body floods the wound, swelling down. Body knitting in real time, but for the first time, it's visibly work instead of reflex. Cyborg's the wild card, and he whiffs. Sonic disruptors tuned for brain function. EMP EMP bursts meant to scramble neural signals the same way he'd short out a machine. And it does basically nothing, because Hulk's brain isn't wired like Cyborg's own systems. No circuit board to fry, no signal to jam, just gamma-soaked tissue that doesn't answer to electromagnetic pulses the way silicon does. He gets one look at his own readouts before Hulk backhands him through a parking structure. And here's the science worth sitting with, because it's the key to the entire back half. Real regeneration has hard limits. An axolotl regrows a whole limb, but it takes weeks. Hulk's healing runs on the same principle, cranked into another category. Cells rebuilding faster than damage should physically allow, but faster isn't infinite. There's a rate. There's a point where damage outpaces repair. And notice what actually found that point tonight. Not a punch, a magic weapon. Hold that thought, because it's the whole video. Right after the ribs, Aquaman goes for broke and drives the trident deeper, and Hulk drops to one knee. First time all night. First time losing feels like a real option instead of a plot device. He gets back up. He always gets back up, but he's bleeding from a wound ordinary force never could have opened. And this is still the easy tier. For this chapter, an A. He wins, but the fight finally left a mark. And the thing that marked him wasn't strength.
You know why you need the enhanced engine
So
protection.
they might just need like a
Shell
magical
Rotella.
weapon
Your
or
truck,
something, I
your
guess.
call.
I don't know. What the? Is this that GTA anime game? NTE Neverness to Everness? I kind of want to play
Chapter
that there.
3. The Kryptonians and speedsters push him to the edge. What comes down out of the sky isn't Earth's mightiest anymore. It's Superman. And for once, he's sized up right. Not the watered-down version Hulk clears in a single panel. At full solar charge, Superman has shifted planetary bodies in some runs. Though, I'll be straight with you, that feat swings hard depending on who's writing him. And that inconsistency of half of every Superman debate ever had. Point is, at the top end, this becomes a grind neither of the last two chapters had. Not one clean exchange, a war of attrition with both of them still standing an hour in. Superman doesn't brawl like Aquaman. He blitzes in and out faster than the eye tracks, open and cuts with heat vision from angles Hulk can't predict. Gone before the counter lands. Hulk answers the only way he knows. He grabs grip that can crush a tank, finds Superman's wrist mid-strike, and nearly doesn't let go. And here's what should terrify Superman. The longer this drags, the stronger Hulk gets. There is no plateau in that curve. It just climbs. Then it stops being 2-on-1 because the Flash arrives. And speedsters don't hit like Superman hits, vibrating a fist into a target and dumping the momentum of near light speed motion into a single point. The infinite mass punch is, on paper, enough to stagger gods. He lands dozens of strikes a second from every direction, and for the first time all night, Hulk isn't hurt, he's overwhelmed. He can track one attacker, two if they're slow. He cannot track a blur circling the field faster than his own nervous system registers motion. For the first time, this isn't a contest of force. It's a contest he can't even perceive. Now, I know exactly what this is starting to feel like. Escalating fight, bigger guy, and you're wondering if the whole video's just, and then someone stronger showed up on a loop until the credits. Stay with me, because that assumption is the thing the next 30 seconds breaks. Black Adam drops in, and this one's different in the way that actually matters. Adam's power isn't biology, and it isn't tech. It's magic wired straight into life.
Yeah, y'all remember the DC Universe, like the beginning trailer? Shazam! And like the lightning bolt was coming down, but the Flash was like right there, I guess, getting ready to save whoever it was. But it was such like a cool scene. I like Black Adam. Black Adam's badass, especially the way The Rock played him. Oh my god, like that scene where he's taking down the security guards or whatever. Oh my god, like that just felt so raw, you know what I mean? Like, ugh, it was so good.
Lightning. And remember what put Hulk on one knee last chapter? Not muscle, magic. That wasn't a fluke. That was the pattern. And here's the pattern again. Blunt force spreads through impact, bruising and breaking along predictable lines. Electricity doesn't. It follows the path of least resistance straight through you, hijacking the nerve signals and muscle contractions your body already runs on, stopping a heart without leaving a mark on the skin. Every hit Hulk has absorbed tonight has been kinetic. This one isn't. And rage scaling has no answer for it, because you cannot get angry enough to make your own nervous system stop being electrical. Superman's grip locks one arm. The Flash comes from everywhere the eye can't follow. Atom's lightning arcs through muscle that has never once had to deal with current, and for the first time, it genuinely looks like Hulk could die here. Then the pain does what it always does. Rage scaling kicks into a gear nobody's seen. Story compounding past anything Batman or Aquaman pulled out of him. And he claws back hard enough that Superman disengages and drags the other two out with him. Not a win, a retreat. But Hulk's the one left standing, bleeding smoke from the knuckles again. Running on a reserve tank he's not sure is real. For this chapter, a B. He's up, but only because rage dragged him off the floor. And 3 of DC's heaviest all drew blood before they pulled back. 2 of them.
I don't know if they didn't just do that. Go get some get back, my boy. Go get some get back. Come on. I want to see him get back right quick. Damn, they didn't even show the... Damn.
With magic. Chapter 4, The Cosmic Ceiling. What comes next doesn't announce itself. It arrives quiet, the way something arrives when it's already decided how this ends. And I have to flag something before a single beam fires, because it's the most important piece of canon in the whole matchup. The dark side standing in the rubble is an avatar. Grant Morrison made it canon in Final Crisis that every dark side anyone has ever fought was a projection, and the true one sits on a higher plane and is, functionally, a concept. When that true form a single beam fires, because it's the most important piece of canon in the whole matchup. The dark side standing in the rubble is an avatar. Grant Morrison made it canon in Final Crisis that every dark side anyone has ever fought was a projection, and the true one sits on a higher plane and is, functionally, a concept. When that true form finally died, reality itself started collapsing. So even a fraction of him is the wall this entire gauntlet's been walking toward. The Omega beams don't hit like anything before them. They track, they curve around cover, around movement, around every dodging instinct Hulk owns. And when they land, they don't bruise, they unmake. Matter gets stripped and rebuilt on Darkseid's terms. And that's the part that ends the science. Healing repairs damage. The Omega effect doesn't leave damage, it leaves absence. And there's nothing for gamma cells.
Oh, okay. So Darkseid is an eraser, is what he's saying. He's literally an eraser. Oh, I didn't think about it like that. I never knew it like that. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess he does. I guess Hulk doesn't even make it to Cosmic Armor Superman. Like, damn.
To rush toward. This is the effect that erased Doomsday, the thing that only dies for a living, and it barely broke stride doing it. Against Hulk, it just keeps peeling him back toward nothing. Then the Spectre shows up, and the science conversation is fully over, because he was never playing by it. This is the wrath of God given a body. Tied to the rules reality runs on instead of to muscle or momentum. Every fight until now measured one physical system against another. Gamma against solar, kinetic against electrical. The Spectre skips the entire category. There's no mutation that adapts to a verdict. No rage threshold that scales against something that isn't attacking tissue in the first place. This is the same tier of thing that has erased Darkseid himself, and it isn't swinging at Hulk's body. It's swinging at whether he gets to keep existing. And then the presence arrives, and nothing happens. No punt.
The presence is God, basically, in the DC universe. So, I mean, yeah, Hulk is cooked, I guess, but he just said nothing happened, so I guess Presence is just gonna save Hulk's life from the Spectre.
No beam. DC's actual God simply exists, sitting so far above the tier where strength ever decided anything that Hulk's fists close on empty air. This is where the engine that's driven the whole video finally stalls out. Rage made him unbeatable against anything with tendons and nerves. Anything you could wear down or overwhelm. None of it means a thing against something that was never in the ring. Against Darkseid, a C, because he's still swinging even as he's unmade. Against the Spectre, a D, because a fight is technically happening if you count one side doing all of it. Against the Presence, an F. Not a loss on points, a wall. And notice the through line, the smoke on his knuckles has been pointing at since Gotham. Nothing that ever hurt him was stronger than him. It was the trident, the lightning, the verdict, the concept. Magic and meaning, never muscle.
Well, there you go.
Hulk's on his knees for the first time all night, staring up at something that isn't even bothering to hurt him. He never lost a fight, not really. He just finally hit the thing that was never a fight to begin with. And if you've been watching the smoke come off his hands since the first shot of Gotham, you already know the answer the tier list was hiding. Raw power carried him all the way to the cosmic tier and not 1 inch further. Because the things that finally stopped him weren't strong, they were magic and concept. So, was there really a ceiling for you? Superman's grip? The Spectre's verdict, or the Presence doing absolutely nothing at all? Drop your pick in the comments and subscribe for the next crossover gauntlet.
Damn, let me know what you guys thought about that down in the comments below, bro. Damn, that was fire. That was fire. That was fire. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. I was not expecting that, actually. Like, there's a lot of things I just learned. So, Darkseid is an eraser. And Hulk, I guess, clearly can't go up against any sort of magic, which I thought he could. Like, I thought he could become so strong to the point where he could bypass all the magic and stuff like that, but I guess not. I don't know. Very interesting. Nerd science. That was a banger. That was a banger. I hope he does more godlike. Like, I want to see more of like this, because I want to see more cosmic entities. Like, I want to see the concepts fighting certain characters, you know what I mean? I say that's GG's.